I was gonna wait till tomorrow to talk about chakras, but it's Wednesday night, and I try to keep it spate lodge on Wednesday nights, so I'm gonna talk about it. And I'm not gonna get all crazy and hippie on you like these yoga guys out here, because I'm not saying that yoga's wrong. I'm not saying that all these mainstream people that are talking about chakras are full of shit. But at the same time, it's like when Joe Dirt says, "You're focusing on the wrong part of the story." I'm going to teach you about the chakras by telling you something esoteric about one of your chakras. This might take a couple of videos, to get the chakra thing nailed down. But I want to teach you something, because when you hold what I'm about to tell you up against anybody else that is teaching shit about chakras or yoga out there, you're going to find something a little bit different in what I'm about to speak. The reason that the Rosicrucians are called the Order of the Rose Cross is because it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for your heart chakra. Now, what is a chakra? A chakra, the way it's explained in contemporary society, is an energy center in your physical body and beyond. It goes up in your spiritual centers, and it's very metaphoric, man. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it's supposed to be metaphoric. Like I'm just saying, man, if you get too hippie with this shit, you can really end up focusing on the wrong part of the story. The heart chakra and all the chakras are represented by different numbers of petaled flowers, or lotus flowers. Like whenever you see the old pictures of Buddha, he sits on lotus flowers. Like the lotus flower is probably the most symbolic flower there is in Eastern teaching. But the metaphor is that on a compass, on the human compass, you have 12 different directions. You have north, south, east, west, up, down, west, northeast, southwest, southeast, the sun, the moon. That's 12 different directions, right? The heart chakra, or the rose cross, is represented as a 12-petaled lotus flower. Okay? Meaning that you should inspect any issue from all 12 sides before making a decision about it. When you practice masonry or esoteric Christianity or chivalry or brotherhoodness, all of this stuff is engineered to improve your virtues. And when you receive different degrees, it's making other people accountable to your virtues. Like when someone in your order raises you to another degree, they're putting themselves out there on a bit, because now you're recognized as one of their successors, and it falls back on them. That's why we try so hard to make sure that you're a virtuous person before we teach you anything, man. And part of that is going around every single subject meticulously, scrupulously, 12 sides, to make sure that you understand every angle of an issue before you speak, before you say anything, before you make a decision, before you decide to fucking make a decision. You know what I mean? Before you, whatever. Everything needs full consideration on all levels before you put it into practice and before you try to tell it to someone else is the truth. What's up, bro? So, your chakras are symbolic. They're real, yes, but in your life they're symbolic in that they are energy centers of virtue. And one of the things that we have to do as we try to ascend to higher levels of consciousness is we need to improve on our virtue so that when we get into a position of power, we don't become corrupted by it. If you don't have a strong foundation, when you put the peak on the roof, the house will fall the fuck down. It doesn't matter if you fuck up the bottom. So, your heart chakra though, the way it's taught down the line over the ages is like this. Your heart chakra, when you're born, is a 6-petaled lotus. Meaning that you're born, like, basically instinctively with 6 levels of virtue. The rest of that, the other 6 petals, because the rose cross is a 12-petal lotus. So the other 6 petals are the petals that you develop through inner discipline, through inner reflection, through your suffering, and through trying to improve yourself. You know what I mean? You become ready for higher levels of consciousness as you develop these other virtues, or symbolically, the other 6 petals on the 12-petal lotus that is your heart chakra. If you're still following me, bro, blessings be upon you. The chakras are indicative, energetically speaking, of what virtues that you need to develop in order to heal your life as a whole. If you have a chakra that's out of balance, it's because that you're trying to operate on a level that chakra hasn't developed yet. So pertaining to any of the chakras, you develop virtue in those areas that those chakras pertain to, regionally speaking. You know what I'm saying? So like, if it has to do with your heart, for example, the virtues that you're going to want to develop are going to have to do with your compassionate ones, with feeling other people's emotions and understanding positions they've been in, a lot of times because you've been there before. And that's part of the esoteric shit of being able to help people because you recognize a state of vulnerability that you have had, or that you still have, or that it's just something that you recognize from inside of yourself. Chakras are energy centers. Physically, yes, in your body. Does meditating necessarily balance them? No, it does not. What balances your chakras is the development of virtue. Hands down. And that's why they used to have, you used to not be able to get this information unless you were a certain level of a Freemason, you know what I'm saying? Because you would have gone through all of the stringency tests to make sure that you're virtuous enough to try to wield the kind of power that they're trying to hand down to you. But because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to recognize the divine nature of yourself. Not the divine nature of Christ, not the divine nature of Buddha, not the divine nature of the Indian devil, the divine nature of yourself. Whoever you are listening to me right now, yourself, the divine nature in yourself, the creator inside of yourself. Everybody here has a purpose. My purpose is to set my people free. And guess what? Your purpose is to set your people free. And the next person that you know, it's their purpose to set your people free and their people free. But